Hey y'all, it's Diane at the Dianiverse, and I want to welcome you to my fiber space here. Today's podcast is going to talk about the recent Florida Tour de Fleece, and I'm also going to be talking about growing and processing and working with cotton in my fiber journey that I'm doing at the moment. So of course Patreons will get this full video. There will be a section of it that's free that goes onto YouTube that you can watch if you want to get an idea of the things I talk about. And last time I was here, I talked about banana fiber a little bit, and the update is that I don't have an update because I was out of town for 2 weeks and haven't done the alkali bath yet to work with the fiber. So that's definitely a to be continued topic. First thing I want to talk about is the recent Tour de Fleece. So I found a group, they were called the Fairy Tale Spinners, and we had a lot of fun following the Tour de France. The Tour de Fleece is an event that follows the Tour de France as the bicyclists go across France. We meet up and we spin with our spinning wheels because they're both wheels. Get it? Anyway, there are challenge days and there's easy days because it just follows along with the race. And this is what I managed to get spun from my already dyed wools while I was following the Tour de Fleece. So at first I had 2 skeins of woad that I got spun up. This is an old acid dye project that I did at a local group day one day, dyed with acid dyes. It was a very fluffy top, and I had been drop spindling it, but it was taking forever, so I decided to just go ahead and put it on the drum carder and then go ahead and get that spun. It did mute the colors a little bit, which is the reason I was using my drop spindle to keep the colors more separated, but I actually kind of like the mermaidy soft colors that I ended up with. Next, I have this, which I have lost the label for. I believe that was rhubarb root on a brown merino. Oh, I see a little drum carder tooth in there. That's not good. I was having a little trouble till I got my tension with my drum carder right. I was losing a few teeth, which I'd rather not, right? But I love this beautiful burnished gold color that the rhubarb root came out on this brown merino. So spun that up. This is a Columbia wool, and it's coming out dark. There we go, better. This was dyed with butterfly bush with the flowers, you know, those lilac-y flowers. Makes a beautiful lemon colored yellow. And I only did a small skein because I was trying it out. It had been the first time I dyed with that. But I love this color. Unfortunately, that was when I was in the Pacific Northwest. Doesn't really grow here in Florida. I looked for that bush while I was recently visiting, but apparently somebody took it out. It's considered invasive there. But what better to do with invasives than to use them up? So there you go. Hope you can't hear the yard trimmers. Seems like they're trimming every day at some house or another in the neighborhood, so I apologize in advance if there's noise. And I am looking into a microphone so that the sound quality is better. I just haven't decided on the one that seems the best. So to be fair, I had a small amount of seeds that I got from a local grower. This is all upland cotton, which is native to the Americas. Cotton is a prehistoric plant. It is in the Americas, like Central and South America. It's also over India, and from India went to Egypt. So at one time, these were probably on that one big supercontinent that split apart, and you still find cotton on both ends. So a very ancient plant, a very sacred plant because it gives, right? It gives us clothing, it gives us rugs, bags, all kinds of textiles that we can use with its furry little seed pods. This year I grew brown and white. White is the most productive, of course. And my personal favorite is the green. From what I've read, these will get darker if I wash them with an alkali. Haven't tried it out yet. I'll have to report back on that. I plan to do them with hand carders because I saw people making them into Rolags to spin that way. So that's what I will also be trying to do, and I'll have to report back on that too because I haven't done it yet. A little bit about the different colors of cotton, how the cotton grows, and just a little educational background here. So the cotton, when you first see it, it looks like this. It's a flower. It's in the hibiscus family, so you might recognize some of those leaves and flowers. Other plants in that family include okra, your hibiscus that you get for that red tea, and cotton is very closely related, and even marshmallow has a little bit of that look to the leaves and the flowers. Next, the flower falls off and you get a pod, which is called the boll. Once that's ripe, it will start to open. That's a good time to pick it before it gets rained on or it starts dropping the seeds. I have some trying to grow like in the pool cracks where they fell while I was out of town. If you let it dry out on your counter, it will begin to floof, and then you get maximum floof. Here I've got a white, and then I have a green pod. It has like kind of whitish tips when you first are taking it out of the boll pod. And inside the floof, then you're going to find your seed. And the way that we get cotton is we pull that fiber that's protecting the seed, pull all that fiber off, and that is your cotton that you are going to spin up. Of course, I'm saving my seeds. Seeds have been used traditionally. You see cottonseed oil. Farmers in India would feed it to their cattle. They had a debacle a few years ago where they had GMO corn and it killed all their cattle. So definitely organic is the way to go so that you know that it's being grown properly and isn't tainted with chemicals. Finally, when you get all the fiber out of the pod, you end up with this cool looking pod like this one that I want to figure out how to make some kind of interesting jewelry out of, because I just has to make all the things. You can ask anybody that knows me. I do have some set aside for making some little pins. So these are what the white seeds look like. They have a kind of greenish undertone, but the green seeds actually look like this, much greener, right? And then here are the brown, which are kind of interesting because you get like hairy and then smooth seeds with the brown. They were kind of a mixed lot, which I found kind of interesting. I'm not sure what the difference is, if there's a difference in the fibers or not so much. I do have a small amount of seeds available. Hit me up on my Instagram if you want to order some. May put them in an Etsy shop. Haven't gone that route yet, but can definitely send you seeds through Instagram. I've got the link below. I'll put it in my Patreon and on YouTube. I'll have it down below in the description. Just check it out. This is a subtropical plant, so it does better if you have hot summers. Likes a long growing season. I grew these, I started them in like December. Already had the main harvest, still getting a few bowls. So I would say they were largely ready by the end of May, early June. So that is a long growing season. It's like 6 months. If you have a greenhouse or somewhere where you can get them adequate light and warmth, you may be able to grow these a little further north. So consequently, I don't have seeds yet for tree cotton because it's just now starting to set fruit. And I would really say if you don't live in somewhere subtropical, probably it's not going to do real well for you. My friend who gave me these plants in Seattle said hers didn't thrive, even though I tried bringing them in, etc. There's some debate in Florida if the native cotton here, they tried to eradicate it with the Army Corps of Inspect the last century. That means like around 1900s, early 1900s. They were afraid that it would carry the boll weevil and it would influence or affect the commercial crops, and so they tried to eradicate them all. There are still some out in the wild. Some people have said they think it's an Indian cotton that someone was growing and it escaped. Other people think it's a native cotton because, as I said, there are cottons native to the Americas. Debates still out on that one, so can't tell you for sure. Anyway, I will definitely let you all see the product of me trying to spin this cotton for the first time. I'm very excited. This is my first time growing cotton successfully. I had also tried some of these upland cottons in Seattle, and they didn't like it there. It's cold and wet for too long. But very excited to have a harvest this year. Hope you enjoyed this little talk. Hopefully it's interesting, even if you don't grow it yourself, like knowing how the products are grown. Like if you use cotton, if you're spinning cotton, if you wear cotton clothes, it can be very interesting to know what goes into that and to get to know the plant. When I was teaching more of the herbalism, I always encourage people to get to know the plants they were working with, because there's just a lot that you get out of having that connection to the spirit of the plant, right? I'm very excited to wear something. I'm planning to make that cotton into a hat. I hope I have enough. Cross your fingers for me. And let me know below if you got something out of this video. And I'm going to try to do the Patreon videos. Right now I'm doing them once a month. It'll be the entire video on the Patreon, and then I'll have like a shorter version on YouTube for people to see for free, so that you don't miss out. You get to see some of it. Consider becoming a Patreon. It's not a lot of money per month. I'm trying to keep it reasonable, and I hope you can learn something if you're into textiles or gardening. And I hope you'll join me on my fiber journey. All right, take care, y'all. Till next time.